how big it sound, it was during a time of great turmoil, racism, and it was during the Vietnam War. And regardless of all this, he actually did a lot of good for the environment, civil rights, just to name a few during his reign. So let's first talk about the environment. Yes, a Republican during this time in the 1960s, specifically about the environment. And one of the things, just a few things he did was first establish the EPA, which is the Environmental Protection Agency, in 1970s about. Now this is basically a federal office, basically to enforce environment rules and policies. And another thing is he did the Safe Drinking Water of 1974, which is in all term an act to protect our natural reservoirs and promote safe drinking water. Another thing is he established the National Environmental Policy Act of 1969, which basically outlined a formal declaration to establish a council for national environment and policies. Now, despite being a racist, and no matter what his intentions may be, you really cannot argue about the results that he did during the civil rights. Now, the first thing he did was affirmative action. And affirmative action is basically to give equal employment opportunities for everyone, regardless of color or background. And what he did is called the Philadelphia Plan, which basically was only a small little test act done in Philadelphia in order to do hiring quotas and promote worker unions in Philadelphia, and mostly in the construction business, which in fact worked very well. And also, a very important thing is his desegregation of school. Yes, he was the one who actually desegregated schools when he actually met with the legislators from all 7 southern states, which opposed this at first. And keep in mind, he did this without spilling a single drop of blood, because during that time, everyone was frantic about desegregation in the southern states, thinking there would be riots and the streets would run red with white and black blood. But regardless of that, he did this all very cleanly. And just a few other things is he first ended it was during the Vietnam War, so he ended the actual draft. Yes, he was the actual warmonger at first during the Vietnam War, and yeah, he did kind of got us involved in it, but he, in the end, cleaned it up very nicely. And also, on the war he made a war on cancer, in which is very, very overshined because of his more famous failure on the war on drugs, which was costed millions of dollars, because it's during the 1960s, so drugs was basically like coffee to everyone back then. And so what he did on the war on cancer was he established an official federal funding for research on cancer. And another thing that might blow everyone's mind is the so-called Obamacare as of right now. No matter whether you disagree with it or not, it was designed for the intention of giving healthcare to every single person. And it was actually derived from a policy during his reign called Nixon Care, in which ironically was actually outvoted by Democrats, in which Democrats are fighting so hard for it now. And that's politics for you. Now then, let's just talk about his situation as president. Politics is not pretty at all. Regardless of how you want it to say or not, playing nice is never going to get you anywhere. There is a saying that says, in a world of evil, a good man must appear evil, in which, in this case, sure, Nixon was accused famously for his Watergate scandal, which he performed espionage on the Democratic Party, but let's be honest here, everyone does espionage. He just conveniently got caught for it. And so, regardless